Quote, "We don't want to try and force others to believe our views with hostile coercion. Rather, we are learning in this class about respectful dialogue and empowering people to decide for themselves based on facts, data, and research we present to them." End quote. That is a quote from my reading from the last 2 weeks of Family Life Education. The component display theory really brings together several different ideas that can be used when leading a family life education program. These ideas range from discussing principles or rules, sharing examples or stories from real life, asking questions that invite participant learning, having balanced instruction in which the group and the instructor have as close to equal participation as possible, and mixing up the instruction to have a few of all of those elements. If I were asked which one of these I would be most likely to incorporate in a family life education program, I would choose the sharing of examples or stories from real life. In the Family 460 Family Advocacy class, we learn about the importance of appropriate stories. We learn that stories can bring groups together in a way that other information may not. They add a personal touch to information and make things relevant to the group. Because we all have families and our goal is to have successful, happy ones, stories of experiences that impact families are usually well received and give the family life educator the opportunity to share more than just data with their participants. It helps to show the group that the educator is the person as well. When creating lesson plans for our individuals, it is important that we ensure that we are not just talking to them. Some of the most significant growth can come when a person is actively involved in their own education. For that reason, it is vital that instruction involve give and take. Knowledge and understanding will most likely be put into practice when the learners can see the personal value of the information that you are trying to share. David Merrill designed principles that could be implemented to help family life educators be more successful. One that specifically stuck out to me was: learning is facilitated when the learner is engaged in solving real world problems. Real problems and issues are what family life education addresses, and the text states, quote, "Family life educators have a big advantage in this arena. Family life is based on real world problems. Families tend to be real and personal. So the issues that we will be helping families tackle are not unique because they are family problems. Most families can understand and often sympathize with a family that is struggling." Although many of the people that we will be teaching in this field are not members of our church, that does not remove the need to teach by the Spirit. As a family life educator, the things that we are teaching are for the benefit of the family, and the Holy Ghost will help guide and direct us to the things that our Father in heaven wants us to teach. That assistance for the instructor from the Holy Ghost is not dependent on the participants' shared faith. One thing from the CES handbook that really struck home with me was the importance of teaching in sequence. Just like you can't teach a child to run before they can walk, it is important to cover the basics with families before we get into specifics. Education about families is so important that we have to start at the beginning and teach the basics first. I feel that the relationship that you have with the participants, whether in a workshop or individually, is very important. The most important thing that I have learned is that you have to develop trust. If the participant doesn't trust that you really want to help them or have their best interest at heart, they will not learn what you have to teach them. You also have to be able to listen to them and really figure out what they want to be taught in order to provide them with appropriate information. You could have the most wonderful program and the most up-to-date information, but if the participant thinks that you are there more for yourself than for them, then it's a total waste of time for both of you. I have had the opportunity to sit in on several groups in which the educator lost control of the group. The most common way that that has happened has been with a question that led the group to get sidetracked. It is vital that the participants be able to share and communicate in a group setting. But with that being said, it is also important for the group that one question or comment doesn't start you down a totally different path that isn't beneficial. This is an area in which I have yet to see handled appropriately. Part of the group is on a discussion about vacations in Vegas, while the rest of the group is wondering how to get back to talking about families and children. I admit this is a tough situation, but one that I plan on figuring out how to address in the future. In writing plans this week, I had the opportunity to think about the how in teaching specific content. The different ideas suggested in Chapter 7 of our reading give so many great and wonderful ideas that will appeal to a variety of groups. I like the idea of using the discussion group slash life stories, skills training, family council methods, role playing, games, and my favorite is object lessons. These are all different ideas to share with a particular thought or idea with a group and have the biggest impact. Being sensitive to the different needs of the group is really part of being a family life educator. The more you know about the group you are serving, the better prepared you can be to provide them with the most current and appropriate information. You may have a great program, but if it were designed with middle class white, two parent families, and you are teaching a group of Hispanic migrant farm workers, the material will need to be presented in a way that shows that are not only aware of their particular situations, but that you care enough about them to structure it to meet their specific needs. Family life educators have the ability to make a positive impact on families from a variety of different backgrounds, cultures, ethnicities, and religions if they are sensitive to the needs of the particular group, do their homework to ensure that the information is pertinent to the group, involve the group in setting up the goals and design of the program, if they teach with the spirit and have a desire to really know the families that they are servicing, and most importantly, if they develop a relationship based on trust. Thank you.